Did you know that one of Hollywood's most iconic films also served as the battleground for one of its most intense rivalries? Behind the scenes of The Great Escape, James Garner and Steve McQueen, two titans of the silver screen, weren't just co-stars, they were adversaries. Their tension wasn't just about clashing egos, it was a collision of two very different philosophies about acting, professionalism, and what it meant to be a star. Garner's unforgettable critique of McQueen: he wasn't an actor. He was a poser. Wasn't just a personal jab, it was a reflection of the simmering discord that defined their relationship. Buckle up as we dive deep into this legendary feud, exploring not only what happened on the set of The Great Escape, but how it shaped the legacies of two of Hollywood's greatest icons. Before we get into the rivalry, let's talk about the movie that brought these two stars together. Released in 1963, The Great Escape is widely regarded as one of the greatest war films ever made. Directed by John Sturges and based on a true story, the film follows a group of Allied prisoners of war who engineer an elaborate escape from a high-security German POW camp. The movie was ambitious in every sense of the word. With a sprawling ensemble cast that included Richard Attenborough, Charles Bronson, James Coburn, James Garner, and Steve McQueen, the film required months of meticulous planning, coordination, and execution. It was a grueling shoot, involving complex stunts, outdoor locations, and a delicate balancing act between the egos of its many stars. Among the cast, Garner and McQueen emerged as the film's unofficial leads. Their characters embodied two very different types of heroism. Garner played Hendley, the scrounger, a resourceful and collaborative figure who exemplified teamwork and ingenuity. McQueen portrayed Hiltz, the cooler king, a brash and rebellious pilot whose devil-may-care attitude made him the film's breakout star. On screen, their characters' contrasting personalities created a dynamic that elevated the film. Off-screen, those same differences fueled a rivalry that would become the stuff of Hollywood legend. James Garner was already an established star by the time he joined the cast of The Great Escape. Known for his charm, wit, and reliability, Garner had built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most professional and easygoing actors. He wasn't one to cause trouble on set, and he had little patience for those who did. Garner approached acting as a craft that required discipline and collaboration. He believed in serving the story above all else and saw himself as part of a team. This philosophy made him well-liked among cast and crew, but it also put him at odds with co-stars who had more self-serving agendas. Garner's professionalism extended beyond his work ethic. He was known for his humility and his disdain for Hollywood's more ostentatious displays of ego. He valued respect and fairness, and he had no qualms about calling out behavior that he felt undermined those principles. Which brings us to Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen was a very different kind of star. By 1963, he was already on the rise as one of Hollywood's most magnetic and enigmatic leading men. Dubbed the King of Cool, McQueen had a rugged charisma that set him apart from his peers. Audiences were drawn to his rebellious energy, his piercing blue eyes, and his ability to exude effortless cool. But McQueen's charm masked a deeply competitive and insecure nature. Born into a troubled household and abandoned by his father, McQueen had a turbulent upbringing that left him with a chip on his shoulder. He carried that chip into his career, where he was driven by a relentless need to prove himself. McQueen's insecurities manifested in his behavior on set. He was fiercely competitive, constantly looking for ways to outshine his co-stars and assert his dominance. This wasn't just about being the best, it was about being seen as the best. For McQueen, acting wasn't just a craft, it was a battleground, and he played to win. From the moment filming began, it was clear that Garner and McQueen were fundamentally different people. While Garner approached his work with quiet professionalism, McQueen's competitiveness was impossible to ignore. He wasn't content to share the spotlight, he wanted to own it. One of the earliest signs of tension came during discussions about McQueen's character, Hiltz. McQueen pushed for changes to his role that would make Hiltz the film's standout hero. This included the now iconic motorcycle sequence, where Hiltz attempts to escape the Germans by jumping over a barbed wire fence. While the stunt is one of the most memorable moments in the film, it wasn't entirely McQueen's doing. The most dangerous part of the jump was performed by a professional stuntman. McQueen, however, allowed audiences to believe he had done the entire sequence himself, further cementing his image as Hollywood's ultimate daredevil. Garner, who valued honesty and teamwork, found this kind of behavior exasperating. McQueen's competitive streak didn't stop at stunt work. He had a habit of trying to steal scenes, often through subtle movements or gestures designed to draw attention to himself, even when the focus was meant to be on another actor. Garner, who believed in supporting his fellow actors rather than competing with them, saw this as unprofessional and distracting. One infamous incident involved a scene where Garner's character, Hendley, was meant to take center stage. McQueen, unhappy with how the scene was playing out, demanded changes that would shift the focus back to Hiltz. Garner, ever the professional, went along with it, but his frustration was clear. To him, McQueen's need to constantly one-up everyone around him wasn't just annoying, it was unnecessary. It was during the aftermath of these on-set tensions that Garner delivered his now famous critique of McQueen. He wasn't an actor. He was a poser. This wasn't just a casual insult, it was a deeply cutting observation about McQueen's approach to his craft. Garner saw acting as a discipline that required vulnerability, authenticity, and a willingness to lose oneself in a character. To him, McQueen's reliance on his cool persona was a shortcut, a way to win over audiences without fully immersing himself in the role. But McQueen's approach wasn't without its merits. While Garner valued the art of acting, McQueen understood the power of star quality. His ability to command attention with just a look or a gesture was unparalleled, and it's a big part of why audiences found him so captivating. At the heart of their rivalry was a fundamental difference in their worldviews. Garner's steady upbringing had given him a sense of confidence and self-assurance that allowed him to focus on the work rather than his ego. McQueen, by contrast, carried the scars of his troubled past into every aspect of his life. His competitiveness, his need for control, and his obsession with his image were all rooted in a deep-seated fear of inadequacy. This psychological dynamic played out in their interactions on set, with Garner's calm professionalism often clashing with McQueen's volatile energy. Their differences were both a source of friction and a reflection of the complex dynamics that make Hollywood such a fascinating place. Despite their tensions, Garner and McQueen managed to complete The Great Escape without any major blow-ups, but their relationship never recovered. Garner's critique of McQueen as a poser would follow both men for the rest of their careers, adding an extra layer of intrigue to their legacies. In the years that followed, Garner continued to build a career based on his reputation for reliability and versatility, while McQueen became one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. Their rivalry, though contentious, added an undeniable edge to their performances in The Great Escape, creating a dynamic that still captivates audiences today. Their clash raises a fascinating question: what makes a great actor? Is it the ability to fully immerse oneself in a role, as Garner believed? Or is it the power to captivate audiences with sheer charisma, as McQueen embodied? Perhaps the answer lies in the interplay between the two. So, what do you think? Was James Garner's critique of Steve McQueen fair? Or was he missing the unique magic McQueen brought to the screen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at Hollywood history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for more behind-the-scenes stories and untold tales from cinema's golden age. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.